You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up, Mr. Warner? Episode 198. Back at it again. Well, this morning we got decisions. Decision number one. Will CP3 decide to show up for a pivotal game 5? Why won't Team USA decide to let Trae Young play? And has Team USA decided to play with any consistency yet? Will the Braves decide to show up for the second half? And what have we decided on our favorite sports movie in 2021? Also, has Dame Lillard decided to finally move on from the Blazers? That will probably be the smart move. This and more we're about to discuss. Episode 198, about to get it started. Dedicated to you, Caden. Rest in peace, buddy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the ATL Shelby. Giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who 3 out of 4 of us were real sports athletes who all have real sports knowledge. Hang out with your boys, Red, Rev, Coach, and your girl Shelby for episode 198 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our custom, we're going to turn our sports attention to our sports numerologist on the panel, Coach Patrick Thomas. What do you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Episode 198 is going to be dedicated to the first tight end to be elected to the Hall of Fame for 94 period of know him as name is number 98, Iron Mike Ditka.
All right, try it again, Coach. We didn't hear nothing you just said.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
We want you to, we can hear you, but we need your mic to stay straight. Give it to us again.
Episode 198. The 198 goes to first tight end elected to the Hall of Fame, and he wore number 98 for a brief period of time. His name is Mike Ditka. Number 98. First tight end to the Hall of Fame.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We're glad that your mic started cooperating so we could hear the full Mike Ditka reference. And do you remember Coach Ditka's first game?
Early.
I'm just saying, I mean, when did he retire?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Because I think you probably about the only one who saw him play in person. We just remember him from the Bears. Coaching the Bears. But I didn't know if you saw his farewell celebration when he retired or not. Because I think you'd be the only one to remember that. But all right, Coach, I'm going to leave you alone, man. Thank you for the Mike Ditka reference. Glad everybody's back. Shelby, glad to have you back. You've been on hiatus for about 3 weeks. Glad that you are with us and sober and all of that good stuff. So we're grateful and thankful to have you on the show on today. All right, real quickly, let's come on and welcome Revenite Nation. They help make this show what it is. So we want to welcome Revenite Nation. We see that they have various comments coming on. Joe Black. What's going on, Joe, in Jacksonville? And I think it's in order for us to say happy anniversary to you and your bride. I see that you're doing it up. So yeah. Mrs. Black, I'm sure, is smiling from ear to ear. So glad, happy anniversary. May God continue to bless you all's union with many more years of life, health, strength, and happiness. Good morning, Brother Trailer. And indeed, it has begun, Brother Chris. Brother Lance is reporting live from air conditioner after standing in the sun at the John Lewis statue in the Rodney Cook Park. We're glad, brother, that you cooled off. Glad to have you. Coach, they said your Android is acting up. Good morning, Armani. We see Armani, who's been holding it down the past 2 weeks. Rev on y'all here today. I'm sure Mike Ditka wore 89. Coach, somebody's refuting your numbers game.
Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Thrower, go look under the Football Hall of Fame numbers, and I'm sure you'll see Mike Ditka's 98 as well. I said he wore it for a period of time. I didn't say he wore it the whole time.
That he did say. I do remember that reference. So he said, if you come for me, come correct today. That's what Coach is saying.
And y'all know now. I told y'all.
Thomas Holcomb checking in from the Brown Bear Bridge Building Brigade in Truthland County, Georgia. My Lord. Wow. All right, Maurice Thrower got coming in from Brooklyn, New York. I'll actually be there this coming week. I got
nice.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks, Maurice Thrower. Good morning, Sister Harris. And she's showing love to Brother Black and his bride. Lance said, "Are we sure, Shelby?" So
Uh-oh.
To be fair, you're never really sure, are we?
Oh man. And then Thomas says, hey, Sports Bay. Okay. Shelby getting that kind of love. Okay. And good morning to you, Brother Rasa. Glad to have you. And feel free, if you all don't mind, Reverend Night Nation, hit that share button. Let somebody know what you're watching this morning so that somebody else can become a part of Reverend Night Nation and know more about the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring coaching with our special guest, Shelby, on today. All right, let's get right into it. My sports brothers and sister, let's go with this dope, nope, and cope. And since Shelby been away for a minute, she may have a little rust on her dope, nope, and cope game, so we're gonna let her go last today. So go with it, Coach. Go with it, Coach. What you?
Just wait.
You're a regular now, so I'm not doing all the ladies first type stuff and all that stuff. You know, we're going to treat you as an equal on this show. So, Coach, what you got? Dope, nope, cope. Start with your dope. What you doping on?
My dope moment goes to a man who's been in the news for the last few weeks, and he's still making news. Shohei Ohtani. He donated his winnings from the home run derby to the members, and it was like $150,000 he donated to the members of the Los Angeles Angels support staff, the clubhouse staff, the trainers, and media relations. So that dude continues to show that he gets it. So my dope moment goes to Shohei Ohtani.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Shohei Ohtani, who broke or trailblazed a new path for the All-Star game, pitched and hit. So, yeah, big time. Red, what you got? What you doping on?
I'm doping on one Vin Baker, assistant coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. We all remember his story. Dude was a very talented ball player, one of the true talented bigs in his day. And he blew his career because he had an alcohol problem. And I read an interview with him recently that he pretty much detailed all of his issues. And now being an assistant coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, he's able to help the young guys on the team, and they're able to look up to him because of his story. And he's very open with his story. And I'm just doping on him that he was able to rebound his life, get his career back. Well, not his playing career, but at least rebound his life to where he's at least coaching on the Milwaukee Bucks staff right now. Who knows? He possibly could have a ring on his finger in the next few days. So my dope moment is the Vin Baker. Congratulations to you for beating your alcoholism, and just good luck to you on the rest of your life, sir. Vin Baker, dope.
Doping on Vin.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Well, my dope is pretty simple for this week. I had the pleasure of meeting Bubba Wallace at the NASCAR at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Had an excellent opportunity by way of DoorDash and Clergy of Atlanta to meet Bubba Wallace. It was wonderful. I was able to go down onto the pit and see how all that stuff goes on in the garage. I even saw a pit stop in person right on the track during the Quaker State 400 in Bubba Wallace's little booth that he has right there on the track. So that was a great experience. Don't think I'll ever go back on my own because it seemed like a Trump rally in the audience, but other than that, if there are a few of my folk that go, I may choose to go as long as there's a good population of people that look like me. Other than that, I'm going to chill and maybe watch it on television once every 2 years. All right. But that's what I'm doping on today. My meeting, Bubba Wallace.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Shelby, what are you doping on?
I am doping on the fact that University of Tennessee decided to schedule the University of Georgia for their homecoming. So now not only are we going to spank you, we're going to beat you on your homecoming. I'm so excited. I have to make plans right now to be there in my red in front of all that orange and white. I mean, it's just nasty orange up there. Don't ever schedule the University of Georgia for homecoming because now you've made us mad. Schedule Vandy. Vandy is everybody's homecoming. It's kind of like North Atlanta was. We were everybody's homecoming game. Vandy is everybody's homecoming game. But you want to do it, we're going to do it to you. And we're going to kill you on homecoming. This is going to be fun.
Winning.
All right. So Shelby's excited about ruining UT's homecoming. That is somewhat disrespectful to have a school of Georgia's caliber being your homecoming game. That's a
When was
bit.
the last time y'all won?
Yeah, that's a bit disrespectful. Now they could have done that while Peyton Manning was in school. That's when they were killing you all at that
Even
time.
T.
Yeah,
Barton.
but
not
now, Georgia just smacking them up each week. All right, Red, it's on you, man. What are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on one Dwayne Haskins Jr. Dude, never marry a woman who can knock your teeth out on your wedding anniversary. Okay. Now I don't know what you
You should
did to
know.
make Miss Haskins mad, but man, getting your teeth knocked out on your wedding anniversary, dude, that's a big no. I hope you and your wife work things out, man. But you're gonna have to go see a dentist soon. And please, on your next anniversary, don't make Miss Haskins mad, man. You only have so many teeth, okay? So nope to Dwayne Haskins for making Miss Haskins mad to where she knocked your teeth out on your wedding anniversary. Nope, Dwayne. Hey, wrong time to start an argument, brother.
You have got to be kidding.
All right, I am noping on, and I just forgot my nope moment that quickly. But let me find something to nope on. I am noping on the Braves. That's what it was, giving us the illusion that they're still trying to compete, even though Robert Acuna Jr.
Ronald.
Thank you. Ronald Acuna Jr. has gone down for the year. Trying to trade for a guy, Jock Peterson, who's batting 230 for his career, trying to make us think that you're still competing to go to the playoffs. And then they picked up some other guy who hadn't made an all-star game in 10, 12 years to be the backup catcher. I'm noping on the Braves. Let it go. You're not doing anything this year. It's a wrap. So that's my note moment for today. The Braves giving the illusion as if they are trying to compete for the playoffs. All right, Shelby, what are you noping on?
I'm noping on the backlash that Naomi Osaka has received because she's playing for Japan. She's playing tennis in the Olympics for Japan. That's where she was born. That's her home country. She had a dual citizenship with Japan and the United States. And so she renounced her U.S. citizenship and said, I'm playing for Japan, which is her mother's home country. Not sure why she's getting backlash. Some people have even said that her black card has been revoked. First of all, I want to know who's revoking it. Who made you the revoke king or queen? And I wonder who's revoking it. I wonder if Karen has gotten on become a keyboard Nazi and is trying to revoke something that she never had. It's really not that big of a deal. That's where she was born. That's where her mother is from. Why wouldn't she compete for Japan? It's really arrogant that Americans think that we should have all of the great athletes. We are blessed that we do have a lot of good ones, but she can play for wherever she wants to. And I'm really kind of tired of it.
No!
All right. Shelby noping on everybody who's coming at Sister Asaki about her giving up the Americans to play with Japan. All right, Shelby, you went on for a minute. You tell us how you really feel. All right. Go ahead, Coach. What are you noping on, sir?
My nope is kind of a semi-controversy, but it's not. And I'm a nope on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know the thing with Barcavius Mingo came down, and it was kind of mixed up, and if he did it or didn't, that's not for me to judge, but it came down. But you all cut him very fast. And I just want to ask a question. If that was Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, or someone of substantial talent, would you have cut them so fast, or would you have said we're going to wait till everything plays out before we make a decision? Your decision to get rid of him was kind of a backhanded slap. Like I said, if he did it, yeah, he goes. But you don't know if everything hadn't come out yet. But for you to go ahead and just cut the guy without getting all the facts in yet, I got a question about that. I have some issues. But hey, that's your organization.
Oh, come on!
All right. So the Pittsburgh Steelers wouldn't have made that kind of move, huh?
Well, I mean, they would have pretty much said they're like everybody else. I think it happens in every organization. If it was a star, they wouldn't have cut him so fast. They would have kept him around. We're going to wait till everything plays out, and then we'll see what it was. That's would they have done Tom Brady like that? Heck no. Bucks wouldn't have done that. certain people, certain privilege.
So I'm glad that you put that caveat on there so it wouldn't look like it was just what the Atlanta Falcons would do.
Oh no, that's everybody. To me, that's all organizations play that kind of role. Superstars don't get cut so fast.
Well, also superstars make a certain amount of money where they have to see if they can cut them or not, because they're gonna get a lot of loot. If you're only making 6 figures as opposed to 7 or 8 figures, you're a little bit more expendable. Quick, fast, in a hurry. So it just depends on what your salary is too. All right. I am coping on one Richard Sherman, who had a bad moment this past week, and I hope that he gets his life together after a bad episode where he had an accident after being drunk, and then also having an incident with family. I will say that I will give big credit to his wife, who was sticking by him. She also validated his character, saying that was definitely uncharacteristic of him. And I hope that he gets himself together. I will say, behind closed doors for the Red and Rev Sports Show, I have to agree with the take that was done by Armani, where oftentimes certain players struggle with the fact that they are no longer who they are, and they struggle with what's next. And I don't know if that was something Richard Sherman is dealing with, because it's definitely hard on the emotions when you go from being a superstar to just an average player trying to fight your way into the league. So who knows, that could have been one of the issues. But I'm glad that this issue did not end as badly as it could have been. And I pray that Richard Sherman gets his life together and his family is restored and reconciled even after this horrific event. All right. I'm not going to play a soundbite after that. Shelby, you go. What are you coping on?
Coping on this basketball season. It feels like we've been playing basketball for 3 years. Will it ever end? I'm kind of tired of ball now. It's just
You can't handle the truth.
Almost in football season. Come on, I thought we were going to be done in 4 games, but no. Thanks, Phoenix Suns. Thought y'all were going to get this done. I'm sick of basketball. I'm tired. I'm ready for it to be over.
Oh, man. Well, you got some more basketball coming your way for the Summer Olympics. So get ready to embrace it, Sister Shelby. What are you coping on? We got to worry
about the USA team. So
we'll talk about that soon. Coach, what are you coping on?
I'm coping for one, and you won't believe this, but I'm going to laugh when I say this. One, Donald Trump. Mr. Trump, do you not see that all these pro teams are coming back to the White House since you've been gone? Tuesday, Joe Biden gets to host the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I wonder why they're coming back. I guess they don't want to be fed McDonald's anymore. So, and I think Mr. Biden is going to do right by him. So, Donald Trump, I hope you cope with the fact that nobody want to be around.
No diggity, no doubt. Good one, Coach. Red, close us out with the cope.
I'm coping on Bryson DeChambeau and Tyrell Hampton at the British Open. I know golfers are sensitive, but these two guys are taking it to a whole nother level. I mean, Bryson, you so disappointed in your play that you decide to blame your sponsors, the same sponsors who paying you to support their company, their brand. You gonna blame them? Dude, look for your pockets to be light in the coming months. And Tyrell Hampton, dude, just destroying every golf club in his bag because you missed one shot on the 5th hole. I mean, dude, your golfers have to take it easy, man. I see now how Tiger Woods was able to dominate this sport for years. These golfers, man, their mental toughness and mental strength is really on the down low. Take it easy, golfers.
All righty. Try that again. All right. You've heard our dope nope cope for this segment. And let's see who else is doping and noping and coping on with the Revenite Nation. Let's see what they got to say. We may get a few laughs right in here. Let's see where we are. Boom. Thomas Holcomb is doping on Allison Felix, creating the fund along with her sponsor, Alita, to give to female Olympian mothers for childcare. That's pretty dope. All right. We got to get about 20 more people before you and I go together. I don't trust just me and you going.
I'll go because I know somebody who works for NASCAR.
All right, well, we need about 17 more people before I feel safe. All right, but that's cool, man. You have to tell us about NASCAR from time to time. And actually, I enjoyed the end of the race more so than the beginning because that's when they start really going after it at the end. It's a long journey, boy. 300 times around that track, that's a long time. But anyway, Lance is doping on Bubba Baker, now having the single season sack record after they decided to comb old footage for sacks. Wow. Okay, didn't know about that. Dang, Sports Bay enjoyed that a bit too much. Okay. Lance noping on Team USA picking players playground style.
You want to be on my team?
That means the Mrs. got 31 more chances. Talking about Sister Haskins. Black, nope. Bark Mingo, even if you didn't do it, you shouldn't be in a hotel with a 16-year-old you're not related to. Okay. Maurice Thrower, nope. For the zero tolerance the Big 12 Conference is showing regarding taunting penalties, it's a silly rule. Her name is Osaka, for crying out loud.
You called her Osaki.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know Lance and Miss Osaka had a thing going on. So all right, my bad. All right. Also, note London soccer fans racism. That's from Joe Black. Lance, it was the nature of the alleged crime with Mingo. He had to go after that. But I think going to Coach's point, if that had been Tom Brady, let's pause right here. And to Coach's point, and this is a clear point to what he was saying. His team, Big Ben was up for rape.
Multiple rapes.
In Milledgeville.
Calm down, Shelby.
Big Ben is still the Steelers quarterback years later. His reputation has been somewhat restored, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were paying him big money. So what Coach said is definitely factual. It depends on who you are. Mm-hmm. It depends on what kind of money you make.
Yep.
Brother Mingo was trying to fight for a roster spot, not making a whole lot of money, so he's easily expendable. But had that been Matt Ryan, had that been Calvin Ridley, there would have been some extra thought over how you handle that particular situation.
I don't know, because the girl was 16.
It was a boy.
Oh, I'm sorry, boy. That's another late.
Yep, even worse.
Even worse. I don't know.
Regardless of the fact, they would have done some investigation.
Yep.
Is that
they would not have done that overnight?
Is that statutory rape in your state?
I get
state
that.
Is different. I don't know.
That's
a slippery slope. But still,
I agree. I agree in context, but who you are matters. Let's even put it to a whole nother degree. If that had happened to one of the superstars, it's quite conceivable we would have never heard about it.
Because this was 2 years.
That's true.
Because
it was 2 years ago.
Because people would have swept that under the rug. That's why Mike Vick made the worst mistake. When he got caught with that dog fight, all he had to do was tell the truth. Arthur Blank would have moved heaven and earth to make sure that he would not have gotten the punishment that he had gotten because there was too much money tied up into Michael Vick.
Absolutely.
So that's why Arthur was like, tell me the truth and I'll get you. But Mike didn't do it. So who you are does matter. I think it just has to be like, doggone it. It was alleged that Ray Lewis killed somebody at the Super Bowl. He played and became a Hall of Famer.
Murder Ray.
All right. So, who you are matters. Who you are matters.
Ruined Buckhead for everybody. Still salty. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Cope and Maurice Thor to the rates. Yeah, we already did that one. Melanie doesn't want to be around him. Melania. There you go.
Melania.
All right. Thank you.
I heard about that too.
You better have corrected that because Lance was going to come at you, Thomas. His name is Melania, for God's sake.
That's Trump.
Apparently, DeChambeau's game wasn't up to par.
Here we go.
What's going on, Kelly?
Here we go.
What's going on, brother? Nicely, Sean Nicely's in the house. Nah, Ray Lewis was down here cutting up in exactly. Exactly. No, not true. Calvin would have been out. I don't know about that.
I don't know
about that, brother. Arthur Blank just got rid of Julio Jones. You better think about that. Calvin Ridley would have had to done something major. So I think Calvin Ridley is number one for a reason. But let's not get into all that speculation. We could talk about that all day and all night long. Thank you so much, Revenite Nation, for your comments. And now we're going to get ready to talk the sport that Shelby is learning to love, and that's basketball. Here we go. We're talking basketball and USA basketball at that. So let's get ready to talk some USA basketball real quickly. And before we start on, Lance clarified his statement. The Osaka line was actually about her playing for Japan. Why people shocked if her name is Osaka. All right. Appreciate that clarity. And this Thomas Hofer, Ray figured he'd take a stand back. This boy is crazy, man. My Lord, Thomas Hofer. Boy, you holding it down for Lance. He said the president had to hold him down. Oh, not Lance. I'm Vincent. Sorry. For Vincent. Says Vincent said he wasn't going to be here today. All right, lady, and gentlemen, let's talk some USA basketball. We know that the USA basketball exhibition season started off on a terrible note. They lose their first two games. It all went downhill first when they lost to Nigeria, and then came back and lost to Australia, and came back and beat Argentina. Their game last night or yesterday was postponed or canceled rather because of COVID issues, where we all know that Bradley Beal went into COVID protocol. He no longer will be available for the Olympics. Also, Jeremy Grant is in protocol. His availability is still up in the air, and we know that the USA basketball put two players on the team, JaVale McGee and Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. Now, let's stay on topic. We got three phases that we're going to talk about USA basketball. Three phases, gentlemen and ladies. First, we're going to talk about, is there room for concern about the USA basketball team after they dropped their first two exhibition games? Who wants that at first? Is there room for concern? Who wants that?
Yes, y'all need to be concerned.
Go ahead.
Point, I don't think they're going to get. I don't know if they're going to even qualify for the medal round at this point. You don't have a leader on the team. The years before, there's been a consistent leader who would say, "This is when we're practicing. This is when we're working out. This is when we're doing this." And now I don't know. Like, I don't know who, I think it was Lance who said it. Now we're going to go, do you want to play? Mike, are you available? You played at Morehouse. Can you go to Japan and play? Maybe they'll take Red. I don't know. This is embarrassing. I think right now, just say that everybody has COVID and just drop out. It's fine.
Wow. That is Shelby's solution. Coach, jump in there. You sound like you're ready to talk.
The USA is still going to win the gold medal because you also remember now, you have Middleton and I think Booker and those guys who, when their season is over, they're going to come and join. And, Greg Popovich, I have to give him the credit that he deserves. I think he's too smart of a coach and too good of a coach to let this continue to happen. And they're going to right that ship. And I think they still going to win. I mean, Popovich is probably sitting there now like, okay, everybody predicting doom and gloom. We still got enough to beat the company. So I'm going to come up with a game plan to get us the gold medal.
All right, Red, you heard Coach. You've heard Shelby. Should there be USA basketball concerns?
Yeah, definitely. Look, when Kevin Durant is your leader, there definitely should be concerns. This is no longer the dream team. This is the Durant drag team. Okay, uh, I have no faith in this team. I have no hope for this team winning any gold medals. I've seen enough. They just threw a bunch of guys together. A lot of the top guys have decided not to even play this year. We don't have no LeBron, no Harden, no Steph. I'm trying to figure out, is the all NBA first team even on the team? So look, they just grabbing a bunch of guys, role players, if that, put them all together and think just because they NBA players, it's going to be automatic gold. I'm sorry. The rest of the world has caught up. Half of the players that's on some of these other teams are playing in the NBA anyway. A lot of guys that I thought were American brothers, they seem to be foreign brothers, and they on these other teams showing out. So, and all we doing is sitting back shooting threes all day. So, look, these other teams have finally caught up to the American game. A lot of these international teams play year round. They have way better chemistry than our American team USA. And like I say, if they do win a gold, it's gonna be one heck of a fight. But right now, at this present time, I just don't see them being the gold medal favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if an international team won it all this year because the players and the coaching and the game have finally caught up to our American ball players.
I was on the path of Shelby and Red initially. I do think this team was poorly constructed. Doesn't have enough bigs. It was constructed like it was an current NBA team, and the international game is a little bit different than the NBA game. It's a lot more physical, and a lot of these NBA players are seeing that some of the calls that they got during the NBA season, they're not going to get in international ball. So definitely they needed to construct a more physical team, because when Kevin Durant is having to play the 4 and 5, he's not the most physical person who plays basketball. But with that being said, I'm moving closer to where Coach is now, because I heard an interview done by Damian Lillard, and he basically kind of put some things in perspective. We have to remember that these teams have been put together for the international teams for years. The American team just put their team together about 2 weeks ago. So it's going to take some time for them to develop some chemistry. The exhibition season is definitely something that will help them. And the 2 losses actually are a blessing in disguise for USA, because now those players can't take it for granted, for they know they will get embarrassed. Now, it's a blessing that they received these losses in the exhibition and not in the Olympics. So now as they go into the Olympics, they're going to play very hard, because they don't want to continue to be the laughing stock of USA basketball. And as I shift gears real quickly, I want to go back into the topic of the additions of Keldon Johnson and McGee, because this is part of my discussion. And actually, I think one addition is a great addition, and that is JaVale McGee. Some folk might be laughing. Rev, why do you think it's a great addition when he wasn't even getting time on the Denver Nuggets? You have to realize, as I think somebody made the point earlier, I think Red alluded to it, but let's even talk about it when it comes to big men. America is not producing big men anymore. I was engaged in a discussion with somebody on Facebook, and they asked me, who are the best bigs in the league? And I had to go on Google, look at the top bigs, and we hardly have any. When you say, who are you going to add to the team? I had to go all the way before they added McGee to Jarrett Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Wendell Carter Jr. of the Chicago Bulls, because Rudy Gobert is not from America. Clint Capella is not from America. Jokic is not from America. Ayton, who's playing for the Suns, is not from America. He's Bahamian. So the pickings are slim. So why not pick JaVale McGee? Because after all, he does have USA international experience. Plus, they need a big body who can block shots and rebound. They don't really need somebody who can do a lot of scoring. So that's why it makes sense for JaVale McGee, especially if you only got one other big, and that's Bam Adebayo. So because of who we got to choose from, and because of the late notice for this pickup or pickups with Keldon Johnson, that was a no-brainer for Pop, because after all, Keldon plays on the San Antonio Spurs. That's Pop's team. Plus, he was playing with the USA Select team. That's why Keldon Johnson was a natural choice to be added to this particular team. So, because of the circumstances and the pool that they had to pull from, is why I have no problem with them adding JaVale McGee. And actually, laugh now, celebrate later. JaVale McGee is going to be a big part of what allows USA to have a good run. I'm not sure they're going to win gold, but I think they'll be better off than what they showed in the exhibition season. With what I just said, or if anything you want to add, who has thoughts on Johnson and McGee being picked up?
Who else was left? I still think Trae Young should have gotten an opportunity.
We're going to get there. Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Anything else on Johnson McGee? We're gonna start with you, with Trae Young. In just a minute. Rev the Thomas is stupid, man. There are only 4 true superstars on the team as of now. Go ahead and list those 4 superstars, Alexis, if you don't mind. All the bigs are foreigners now, no doubt. All right, Coach JaVale, you laughed at McGee earlier. I know that was part of your laugh.
Yeah.
So did I persuade you in?
I think you did, because, like you said, you really hit the point about all the bigs are foreigners. We don't have many bigs to choose from. Where are we going to go to? Dwight Howard, who doesn't know if he's coming or going? Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. Who else? I mean, you have to, like you said, you have to actually Google American bigs to find some, because they're like going to look for a 4-leaf clover. There's not many left. You have to really dig. And now you say American point guards and American forward, small, yeah, you got a bunch of them. But bigs, yeah, it's a thin prospects.
All right, Red, you got any thoughts about Johnson and McGee?
That was a good take, you said. Nothing to add.
That is the shortest take of Red in Red right there. All right, we'll move on real quickly, and we'll go into the Trae Young. So, Shelby, you started that discussion. Was Trae Young snubbed?
Absolutely. Trae Young put himself on the map in this Hawks playoff magical Cinderella run. Why wouldn't you take him? He's a floor general. Now, does he take some errant three-pointers sometime? Absolutely. But so did the rest of the team. We've seen in the 3 games they played, they take three-pointers from anywhere, from the stands. I'm like, stop. I really think he was. But in your take, of course, Pop is going to take somebody from his team. Somebody that he knows well. Why wouldn't he? But yes, he was snubbed. And I think he's going to continue to get snubbed. Just because, let's be honest, nobody likes Atlanta. Okay. We always get disrespected.
Red, do you agree with Shelby's take?
That Trae Young snub?
Mm-hmm.
You could say Trae Young and a few other players were snubbed. I don't know why he's taking it so personal. He's forgetting that Lloyd Pierce is on the bench sitting next to Pop. Maybe Lloyd Pierce didn't want to be so close to Trae after Trae got him fired, a few months ago. So if he snubbed, then maybe it was something personal. I think Trae will have an opportunity to be on the next Olympic team as long as the Hawks continue to thrive in the next few seasons. I'm hoping it wasn't nothing personal. And if so, Trae, why would you want to be part of this team, this loser team anyway? They're not going to win the goal. So personally, I think you're escaping, Trae. Don't be part of this team. Be part of the next team that's actually going to possibly win the gold. Don't be part of Durant's drag team. But was he snubbed? He could have been. With Lloyd Pierce, anything is possible regarding those two.
So you think he should have been on the team? Lloyd Pierce is not in the equation. Was he snubbed?
Yeah, we could use him on the team.
So he was snubbed. Okay. Coach, your thought. Was Trae Young snubbed?
Ooh. If we say go for foul or fair, it has to be for real, I guess. Because
For
Foul. I'm sorry, he wouldn't have hurt him. I guarantee he wouldn't have hurt him. But these little semi-popularity contests sometimes get you, and then your attitude determines your altitude sometimes. So I don't know. you got a lot of guards, you got a lot of shooters, and like I said, they didn't get enough bigs, and now they are addressing that with picking up McGee. So it could have gone either way.
All right, before I give my take, I'm gonna give Rev Night Nation some pub. Kelly agrees with Shelby. Maurice Thrower is worried about Trey's health. After what Trey did in the playoffs, how do they not select him? I think player for Pop could help Trey's game. Trey and Morant were both snubbed.
Ooh,
and Alexis
nice
and those four superstars, Kevin Durant, Lillard, Tatum, and Booker, maybe once he joins them. All right, for all you people that believe Trae Young was snubbed, he wasn't snubbed. He wasn't even going to be a pick. He wasn't going to be the pick because, after all, you have to remember they have what they call a USA select team that was practicing with the Olympians while they are getting prepared to go to Tokyo. If Pop was going to put another point guard, it was not going to be Trae Young. It was going to be Darius Garland of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is already practicing with the USA team. He's played in some of the exhibition games. So Trae Young was not snubbed. We can't be prisoners of the moment. Trae Young has had one All-Star berth and a great playoff run. Trae Young has not put himself on that level where he is a no-brainer to be added to the team. Would it have helped his personal brand to get picked on the team? Of course. But when you talk about what the USA team needed, did they need a 5'10", 6 feet point guard that's being generous, who can't defend? When you don't have Clint Capella as a center, when you don't have Rudy Gobert trying to clean up all his defensive mistakes. Let's remember, in USA basketball, you got to defend. Trae Young does not defend. Trae Young is helped by having guys who can protect the basket. Guess what? USA doesn't have a lot of that. USA got one guy, Bam Adebayo. When my man Green, what's his first name for the Golden State Warriors?
Draymond
Green. When he getting 3 and 4 blocks, you know you're in trouble. And he but 6'7", 6'8". So, therefore, Trae Young, for this particular team, the way it was orchestrated, he did not deserve to be on this team. They didn't need another little point guard. They got plenty of guys who shoot the ball in volume. They have Damian Lillard, who can shoot in volume. They got Kevin Durant as a forward who can shoot in volume. When Devin Booker comes, what does he do? Shoot in volume. Chris Middleton, shoot in volume. And then they got another point guard who's going to be coming anyway, who is better than Trae Young for the international game because he defends, and that's Drew Holiday. So why would you add Trae Young to this particular roster when you already got guard palooza plus shooter palooza? You need some different talent on the team to make it a more well-balanced team. And this is why Keldon Johnson, who's like a 3/4, and JaVale McGee were better selections because of the fact that this is already a guard-oriented team. Darius Garland, Google him. Chris Trelley plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He went to Vanderbilt University. Decent ball player. I'm not going to say he's better than Trae Young, but because he's already in the system. And let's also remember, Trae Young is not Pop's kind of guy. Let's be honest about it. He doesn't like all that flash. Anybody remember a flashy point guard to play for San Antonio who is ball dominant? Nah, you don't get too many of them. They just get the open jump shot, run the team, get the ball down low. That's not Trae Young's game. Sexton don't ball like Trae, and we got Armani giving a Sexton reference. I think your boy Colin got some more years to go before he gets on the USA team.
20.
All right, so last thing. Shelby, you don't predict that the USA will win any medals. Am I correct?
No. I think this will be the team that is the laughingstock of the United States of America basketball.
So they don't even win bronze.
No.
Whoa.
Red, They win no medals.
I ain't say that now. They can at least get the last place medal, but I don't see them winning gold. Not gold, but silver, bronze, possible.
All right, now let me ask you, and I don't know if you know, but hey, you may just be going off of what you see in lack of team chemistry. Is there any team internationally that you know of that you would predict that would win the gold?
Not right offhand. I don't know. Argentina. I need to look at some. I need to look at some of the international teams and see the rosters. I haven't really studied them completely, but
it would be more. It would be more Spain than Argentina, and then
Spain.
Yes,
yeah,
Spain,
they got size.
They got quite a few. They got Thibault from the Sixers. They got your boy from the Utah Jazz, Ingles.
Okay.
They have several. They have about.
I mean, it will be a team that got size and shooting. I mean, because that any team with that is gonna give us a few challenges. If you got shooting and you got size, like you say, our lack of size is really gonna hurt us. Like you said, man. Most of the big guys are on the international teams. If the best big guy we can possibly bring over there is JaVale McGee, like I was thinking Dwight Howard, but coach said no on Dwight Howard. So I mean, if they out on Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, that's the best you can offer. Woo, boy, I tell you. America got to do better with the big men.
Listen, Dwight Howard be over there trying to impregnate everybody in Japan. We not. We don't have time. We can't find him because he over in a brothel somewhere. No, leave him over here.
Dwight Howard's problem is his body is not that durable anymore, and you got to have somebody who's durable because the bigs will probably play quite a few minutes. And
every big you can think of is an international player. I have to say Embiid. I keep saying Embiid from Cameroon. So
I would have gone with Jared Allen. Now I think he is an up and coming big
afro, right?
Yeah, big afro, durable, athletic, can rebound. Plus, he's on my NBA 2K team for
he's not bad. I probably would have thought about going with him over JaVale McGee because he's younger, right?
Well, he's younger, but the only thing JaVale has over Jared Allen, he understands the system in terms of international play with the USA because he's been on a USA team before.
And I guess Tyson Chandler too old, right?
Yeah, Tyson didn't even make it on an NBA team this year. So I think
our big American big man, we looking bad for big men right now. I remember we used to like back in the 80s and 90s, we used to have a plethora of big men, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, every beginning team always had a key big man. You look at the first Dream team, you had David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Then the next team had the Dream on it. You know, you always had solid. You had Shaq on that team as well in 1996. So, you know, the thing about it is America is being hurt by what is going on in high schools.
Yes, they're changing the game around. So when the big man is not like effective or is not going to be really needed, when you turning everybody on the court into a 3-point specialist.
Well, the problem is that high school coaches can no longer coach big guys anymore due to the AAU coaches. Yeah. The AAU coaches have more power than high school coaches now. So what high school coaches have to deal with in this era is if they try to force a 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" kid to play strictly down low, then they run the risk of losing that player who will transfer to another school. We got kids in this era now who will go to 4 different schools in 4 years. So now the high school coaches are walking on eggshells because they know if they say something to a particular player or try to force that player to play down low, there's a great chance that that player is going to transfer. And then we know that they don't, if they're a top-notch talent, they don't stay in college long enough to develop. So now you got these kids, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", just want to be 3-point shooters and play all in perimeter, cross people up, but you have nobody who can play down low. This is why we don't have anybody in this era of basketball, even in the NBA, who has a signature move. We had players back when all of us were growing up, even coaches in this number, in this one, who had go-to moves where teams knew you throw that ball down the post. The Houston Rockets could count on a fadeaway from the Dream or the Dream shake. You had Patrick Ewing of the Knicks running hook. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, coach's favorite player, do the sky hook. You know, David Robinson had a face-up game where they could go get buckets. Now you got players like Ayton and Capella who can only score off pick and roll. You try to do it.
And you would hear about their moves too. Like, say, remember when the video games used to come out, they used to even have the athletes endorsing the game based on their moves.
Based on the moves. Everybody had a signature move. And they used to have what they call big man camps, where coaches could send their kids to work on big man skills. But we don't have that anymore, and it's affecting the game. And we see that it may cost America a gold medal, because we don't have any real bigs.
Rev, is this part of the reason that you kind of got out of coaching because of where you saw the game was heading toward, like where you probably couldn't coach the guys the way you wanted to coach them because of where you saw the game transcending to?
I wouldn't say that's why I stopped. I would say that's why I would have wound up stopping, but I had to stop because my ministerial schedule was just too demanding for me to have to dedicate that kind of time to the game. But I know if I had stayed, what you just asked me would have been the reason why I would have gotten out, because the kids can't really be coached. And then also we're dealing with the dynamic. Unfortunately, a lot of these kids don't have fathers in the home, and therefore they don't necessarily take discipline too well. You can't really come at them. You really, you have to kind of coach them like it's an NBA team, because a lot of them are very sensitive. When we go back to the years, that I coached at Mays and we won our 2 state championships, the reason why we were so successful is because most of our core players, they had their fathers in their lives, and they were used to being coached hard. As a matter of fact, the parents, the fathers of these players, would get mad at the coaching staff if we took it light on them. But now you got a bunch of boys who are mama's boys, and then also you got a bunch of boys who are being coached and even reared, in some cases not for the good, by their AAU coaches. And their AAU coaches have replaced fathers, and some of them don't really care about the kid per se and their future, but they care about if they can profit off the kid if the kid makes the league.
And you can't, and it's gonna be hard to win with players like that, because a lot of these players you can't win with because they're turning these kids into divas before they even get to college. And you can't win with that type of attitude if the coaches coach, players play. Okay. Now, if you're turning this game around to where a coach can't even do his job effectively, and it's not helping the player improve at the highest level, you just ruining the game.
Yeah. And we're in the era, and I'm going to get a little biblical right here, where the scripture, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
This is where we are in basketball, because the love of money, the love of potentially profiting on a kid who might make it big, is what is pushing a lot of people who are up to no good to want to be involved with these kids at very young ages. And what is happening now is that kids will not be prepared, especially if they don't make the NBA, because they don't have the character to be able to withstand the various issues and storms that come with life. Go ahead. You got your Baptist finger up, Red. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off what you said. Now, going off what you said, now, do you think the new rule, that's probably going to make it worse now, right? Where players are able to profit. Now it's going to turn them into even more divas, because they already acting diva-like now. Now imagine them going into college or whatever road they seem to take after high school. Imagine them going into that area of life with what the Master P son get, a $2 million endorsement deal.
He's playing for Tennessee State. And he's playing for Tennessee State.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, that's going to make coaches even walking on more eggshells. It's going to turn players into have even more diva-like behavior. To me, man, the basketball game, I don't see it I think it's going to get worse before it get better.
Coach, you got to go ahead. You look like you're about to say something.
No, I just, when you start, I've been on blank out when you said Jared Allen and the Afro. I started thinking about the Jackson 5, old Jackson 5.
I did think we were going to get a Jackson 5 reference during USA basketball.
Oh,
But thank you, Coach.
Me neither, man.
Just seeing the big Afro, him run up and down the court, just like they used to have when they were the young Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Rev, Coach did see the Jackson 5 play rec league basketball, so he would remember that.
I'm done.
How much did Mike MJ used to go for back in
the day? Where did Jackie Jackson average, Coach?
You know what? This is funny that Coach, Red brought that up because I was watching the Chappelle show yesterday, a rerun of the Chappelle show on Comedy Central. And any of y'all seen that little bit that he did with Prince playing basketball?
Yeah. That's one of the famous bits right there.
Oh my God, that thing
Y'all are out of control.
So hilarious. But yeah, Amani made up a point talking about football, and the good thing about football is you don't have the AAU dynamic.
Oh,
you don't even have football programs in a lot of different states. Like in New York, none of the city schools have football teams.
New York?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's right. I did hear about that.
Because they don't have no grass to play. So if you want to play football in New York, you got to go to where I used to live in Long Island, where they got a bunch of grass, Nassau County, Suffolk County, so forth and so on. So, football does not have the problems that basketball, because AAU, is big money. I just went last weekend to an AAU tournament that was held at the World Congress Center. My little cousin from Dallas, Texas, his team played in it. They had 24 courts in one big old room. Players from all across the country, 16-year-old. They had at least 100 plus teams there. To get in, each team had to pay $675 to get in. So multiply 100 times 675. Think about how much money they were profiting off of that tournament. And then they had vendors, they had sponsors. So AAU is on a whole nother level. But last thing we'll go into our halftime real quickly. And that is to Red's point. I think to your point, in college it's going to be harder, while on the other end, because of the sponsorships, while on the other hand, college basketball coaches might be able to coerce some players to actually come to college. Because now, what would I rather do? Get a $2 million sponsorship while playing college basketball, where I'm going to be seen, because part of the sponsorship is because you're going to be seen playing college basketball, or do I want to go to the G League and only make $100,000?
They going because they're gonna play college basketball for them endorsements.
Exactly,
they're gonna be seen.
Think these kids. You ain't lying about that, Thomas. Think about it. Oh yeah, that is true. New York baseball is played on concrete. That's very true in some cases. But think about Zion Williams. Think about how much money he would have made in 1 year at Duke with sponsorships.
He probably wouldn't even be spending his NBA money right now.
No.
That 1 year at Duke, he would have had commercials. He probably would have had TV. Well, yeah, that's commercials. Apparel. He would have had gear. He could have got money off of appearances. So yeah, it would have been plenty of money making opportunities for Zion.
Thomas, man, you got too many Wheat Street memories, man. You are off the chain, man.
But I saw Thomas talking about they played football on asphalt parking lots, and everybody seemed like they want to up it. Like I saw on this show, this guy said, that ain't nothing. I played basketball with barefoot on glass. And the dude asked him, why?
Exactly. Why?
Yeah, that is absolutely stupid. All right, that was good basketball talk for USA basketball. We're going to take a break. Coming out of halftime, we'll talk a little baseball, then we'll talk some NBA finals, and then we'll talk favorite movie. I'm sure Red's going to be real perked up for that because he loves the entertainment portion of the Red and Red Sports Show whenever we have it.
I honestly didn't think y'all were going to go with that topic. I thought y'all were going to postpone that topic to later.
No.
That's very true. Thomas is telling the truth. We used to play tackle on the concrete. All right, this halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. We've given you one half of sports talk. We talked USA basketball. We gave you our dope note quote. Come back with a little Major League Baseball. Then we're coming back to give you some NBA Finals critique. And then we'll close. Favorite sports movie that ought to be fun. We're getting ready to come back later on in about maybe a minute or so with the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We'll be right back. For the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. I was dying laughing after I saw one of the posts by Lance. Lance, he said, we played football in the street in Inglewood and one dude got knocked into a park.
I believe that. I believe it.
Now, if that would have happened today and somebody filmed that, that would have gone viral. No doubt.
Oh, man.
That would have had a million views. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Thomas says if Sports Bay keeps rolling her eyes back into her head on basketball, she's going to actually see what's on her mind.
That's just so, it just went in. I'm so ready for the finals to be over. Like, we're going to football. Let's just go to football.
It's not here yet, Shelby.
I know.
What do you want to hear? 2 hours of sports talk about who might do this and who's going to go into it?
No, it's not that. I just thought the Suns would be done with it by now. And so that would be over. No. I'm just tired of watching it. It's like every night. And then the Bucks gonna come back. And I'm like, great, now it's tied. So at least we got 2 more games. I'm messing up my Saturday nights.
All right, we're going to get to that in just one moment. But let's talk a little bit of Major League Baseball second half preview. We're going to combine this with our Braves report today. Last week, on Saturday, we got some terrible news as Atlanta Braves fans. Ronald Acuna Jr., I got that right, Shelby. Ronald Acuna Jr. went down with the season-ending injury tearing up his knee. He might be back in time for the beginning of next year, but that all but hurt the Atlanta Braves season this year, for he was leading the team in various categories. He missed another All-Star berth because he would have played in the All-Star game on Tuesday night, but now he's out. The Braves picked up Jock Peterson, who was platooning with the Chicago Cubs, and now he's on the team. And then they just picked up another guy who I don't remember to play backup catcher because Arnaud is out on the 60-day DL. So with that being said, Red, you're doing a lot of laughing. We talked about the Braves. Give us a little bit of Braves talk, and then give us your thoughts about the ML second half preview. Go with it.
I have no idea what the Braves are doing with these trades, man. I mean, like you say, it's like they trying to fool us as if they attempting to make us believe that they still are in it, when we all know this thing is over. Over. Okay? Look, it is now July 17th, I believe, and the Braves still are not over 500. Man, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. Braves, like Rev said earlier, Give it up. It's over. Start looking forward to next season. Ron Acuna Jr. is out for the season, which means we ain't winning nothing without our boy at the top of this lineup, okay? I don't even want to win without Ron Acuna Jr. Not with this makeshift team that they're going to nickel and dime a bunch of pieces with. And what? Hopefully you can get what? The last wild card spot to what? Lose and then what? No playoff still? So Rev was right. Suck it up, Braves. I mean, just give it up, Braves. Get ready for next season. I don't believe you'll ever get over 500 this season, honestly. You've been trying for 3 months and you still ain't did it. You're not going to make it over 500. You're going to be up and down the rest of the season. Your bullpen sucks. Your manager is not good. And like you say, you just got a lot of inconsistency all over the team. The Braves, Real, are done. We're done, man.
Now, Coach,
I'm not going to even fool myself into believing we got a chance. I mean, let's take last night game, for instance. They want to fool you and have a 5-3 lead most of the game, make you think, okay, maybe they finna turn it around. They starting off the second half, on a positive note. And what happened? The bullpen strikes again. It's been striking all season long. Snicker and the team inconsistent again. When you really need the bats to show up, what do? Go to sleep. So that's been the Braves. It's been the 2021 Braves. We trying to fight it, but no sense of fighting reality.
All right, Red has come to the other side that Rev has been on at the beginning of the season. Coach, you've been still giving your Jesse Jackson impression. You've been keeping hope alive all during the season. So have you come to the other side, or are you still keeping hope alive?
No, I'm still keeping hope alive because of one particular thing. You look at the Cleveland Indians, 45-43, 8 games out of first place. Seattle Mariners, I'm just picking teams, 49-43, 7 games out. Cincinnati Reds, 5 or 6 games out. All these teams out. 8, and the Braves have played. Are playing terrible. But who actually think the Mets can hold on and stay above the division for long? And they still only 4 games. They should be 20 games in first place ahead of everybody, but they're only 4 games ahead of the Braves. 4. The Braves, the way they playing, only 4 games out. With let's see, they played 88 games. They still got 80 games. Well, not 80 games. They still got 70-something games to go. So until they say the Braves are 10 games out, hey, what's the stopping people from believing that they can? Last night, I know it was a disappointment. They had the lead in the bullpen. I'm sure that Alex Anthopoulos is going to address the bullpen at some point. But I'm still trying to figure out, and I think me and you said somebody, Rev, why is nobody going after Yasiel Puig? What did he do to just blackball himself from the league at a young age?
Well, that's a good question. And ever since the Braves signed him and then he got COVID, he's been damaged good. So I want to go back to you, Coach. So you listed a few names of teams. Some of them were American League teams. Don't think I didn't pay attention to that. So it had nothing to do with the National League. So, I was going to wait for you to finish that just to let you know. I wanted to highlight that because none of them teams got any bearing on if the Braves make it to the postseason of the National League. So I just wanted to keep you honest on that one.
First of all,
go ahead.
I don't need you to, check on some technical stuff while I'm talking, so you won't be picking apart. Because I knew you were gonna get it in there. I tried to stay American. I said, dog, and when you start talking, I said, he done found it.
I'm in a profession where I'm trained to listen to what I hear and to pay attention to what I read. So that you gave me my text that I had to interpret. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the Braves making the playoffs when you started naming off those American League teams? So I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that Rev is still on the job as the fact check over here. But nevertheless, I want you to tell us, why do you think the Braves can overcome the Mets? The reason why I want you to answer that question We don't have our top pitcher. He's out once again, Soroka. Max Fried has been in and out for this year. He's the ace, but he's been injury prone. Ronald Acuna Jr. is by far our best player. He's gone for the season. Freddie Freeman made it to the All-Star game more on his reputation than his actual play for this year, and he's a fan favorite. All right. So what is it about the Braves that can overcome even the Mets when they still have their ace who is pitching like a beast, Jacob deGrom? They have something that the Braves don't have. So you kind of minimizing the Mets, and I think you're minimizing them based upon their past. But what about the Braves' present makes them a viable option to surpass the Mets? Help me out, Coach.
I mean, you still got, like I said, Smiley has come on and started doing well after a terrible start. Charlie Morton, who should have won last night, I say, and I know the bullpen is a problem, but I'm looking at the Mets. If you don't play at where the Mets play at their field, the Mets have one of the worst road records in the National League, 19-27. So take them away from that. Well, I don't know what the name of that stadium is now. It ain't Shea Stadium anymore.
Citi Field.
Yeah, you got a team that struggles, and they're not exactly setting the world on fire. That last week at 5-5. If deGrom don't pitch, you got. I don't know if you got. I haven't heard anything about Syndergaard this year being quality pitcher, so I don't think their pitching staff is that much greater. deGrom can't pitch every night.
All right, so what you're saying, I hear what you're saying. The only problem is they're in first place right now. Right. So what makes the Braves be able to overcome a 4-game lead when the Braves have their own issues?
That's true. And let me I'm looking at this. Let me look at the schedule real quick.
Because as Thomas Holcomb said earlier, matter of fact, these next 2 weeks will determine how long we got to talk about the Braves. Because they play the Rays this weekend and they come back with the Padres at the beginning of next week. So they got a tough 2-week run coming. So we may not even have a Braves report after 2 weeks. So, Coach, keep hope alive.
2 weeks, real. I'm giving you 2 weeks.
Go ahead, Coach. Give us your argument.
Then look at the fact they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games against the 2 teams that are ahead of them right now. So there's a chance to catch up. You got Philadelphia, New York, the next 10 games. So, then you have a chance to make a run, but it's going to be up to them.
Okay. Shelby, do you have any dog in this race, or are you bowing out of this conversation?
I want the Braves to win, but my hope is not alive. Sorry. After Ronald Acuna went down, I was just like, you know what? What else? Alex, I want to like Alex Anthopoulos. I really do. I really want to like him. But he feels a lot like Billy Knight from the Hawks.
Ooh, that's a great comparison.
Hey, Shelby, ain't that bad now.
I like that.
Again, I want to like him, but I don't understand the moves that we're making. The moves don't make sense. Once again, let's go back to last season. I think Rev put it when we talked about it. You went into a playoff with a bullpen. You played a playoff game with a bullpen and thought you were going to win. And you did nothing to get better. That feels like a Billy Knight move. Let's draft another center. Let's draft, oh my gosh, another center.
Or small forward. He was drafting small forwards galore.
Wing players.
But what we're not going to play, what we're not going to draft is a point guard.
Yeah.
But no, we don't need that.
When you got CP3 right there, and you need one, and you started Tyronn Lue the previous year.
Well, to piggyback off that.
Wait a minute, Red, you had your turn.
Uh-oh.
And you took a long turn.
Go ahead.
In addition, Let's go to another Billy Knight reference. You're going to draft Sheldon Williams.
The landlord.
Which is,
don't ever.
We still don't understand. I still don't understand why Candace Parker married him. I don't know if she got pregnant or what, but it was a horrible move. But Alex Anthopoulos reminds me of that. Like, we're not spending money. We're in debt. The Braves were never in debt at Turner Field. And we shouldn't be in debt now. The amount of money that the Battery charges just for meals and parking, we should not be in debt, but we are. So now I want to look at the finances. Now I want a forensic accountant to go in and look. I want to like Alex Anthopoulos. He seems like a really nice man the times that I've heard him on sports radio, but I wonder, does he know what he's doing? Because the decisions we're making are horrible. We're just making horrible decisions. Jock Peterson? First of all, you don't even spell your name right. P-E-D-E-R. Come on, son. And then Jock is your first name? Like Jock from Dallas? I can't. My hope is gone. It left. It was already a little shaky. I was not on the fence with Red, but I was a little shaky. But now that Ronald Acuna is gone, sorry, I'm done. Hopefully it's not horrible. Don't be the worst team, but let's just try to get out of the season with the least amount of injuries. Make some moves in the offseason, some legitimate moves, and try again next year.
All right, jump in there, Red. You waited.
I forgot my point now. Go ahead. We move on to the next topic now.
Now, I will have to give Shelby some credit. I think that's an excellent analogy. Now, what's his name? He just chimed in, and we're glad to have you a part of the Red and Red Sports Show. Brother Jared Jones did make a good point. Liberty Media, who owns the Braves, they are making the moves, but Alex is the general. So we have to recognize he's the one making the moves, even though his moves might be limited in what he can do due to Liberty Media. But what she says is actually correct, because a lot of the moves don't make sense, and they do feel very Billy Knightish. Going back to the point where Shelby was making, she was using centers, but it was more so small forwards. But I understood a point in terms of we needed a point guard, and we up here loading up on small forwards. So like in one draft, in the same draft, we drafted Josh Childress and the boy from Atlanta.
Smith.
Josh Smith.
And then the next draft, we come back and we need a point guard. CP3 is right there. Who do we draft? Marvin Williams.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my gosh. I forgot about him.
Yeah, that's what we drafted, Marvin Williams. So we got 3 small forwards in a matter of 2 drafts. And we had Tyronn Lue, who was the point guard for Josh Smith and Josh Childress, when CP3 could have been the point guard. So, it does feel very Billy Knightish. And I like that analogy, Shelby. That was a pretty good analogy. But with that being said, Coach, we're going to see if you keep hope alive. Your keeping hope alive pays off. And you can brag and say you were the only one who kept hope alive, because I think everybody else is on the other side.
Well, I've had that happen before, but when we get to a certain topic, I'm gonna bring that up too.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to that topic in just a moment. So, where is the replacement for Ronald Acuna and what he's meant to the Braves, and then we're done? Who's gonna pick up the slack?
That's a good question. You're obviously afraid to go into your minor league system and pull any of those guys. I know the kid Michael Harris personally, but he's not ready because he's a young guy. He's not ready.
So let's talk about who is ready, Coach.
Drew Waters. Why not try Drew Waters?
Now we don't know if he's ready or not, Coach.
But what's the harm in taking a chance to put him in there?
All right, so they don't get Drew Waters. Then you still keeping hope alive. So who bringing this production?
That means somebody else from the lineup going to have to step up. What's the young? I can't remember his name. Those guys, Heredia, and those guys going to have to.
Heredia, Coach, come on, man.
I said they're going to have to step up. I didn't say they're going to be a replacement.
Coach, one thing I'll say about you: when you make a take or you got a team, or you're playing,
He
you
gonna
are,
hold.
you are gonna be loyal,
Strong.
no matter what. You're gonna find a way to make it.
But there's no need of that. You don't need a flip floppy. You got to stay with what. If I'm wrong,
But sometimes the situation deems itself to switch. It's okay, coach. It's okay. It's okay. You know, you must have learned to be loyal, and whoever taught you that, they did a great job of teaching you that, because you don't sway. If the Braves were about to have a fire sale and they got rid of all their best players, you gonna still go the Braves.
no, they'll be
all their prospects that they pick up.
No. I'm just looking at the fact again that they actually only 4 games out through all this garbage and everything. They still only 4 games out. And
but we've been talking the same. They've been only 4 games out the whole season
with 80 games to go. Well, I mean, with a bunch of games to go. Hey,
all right, coach.
Anything can happen.
You're right about it, and we'll see if anything does happen. So we'll push the pause button real quickly right here, and we'll see if we have any reason to talk about the Braves in the weeks to come. With that being said, it's time for us to go back to Shelby's favorite sport that she loves, that we've been talking about all year long, ever since she's been a part of the Red and Red Sports Show. Let's talk some more basketball. Why don't we? NBA Finals. Who would have thought?
What's that look?
Last week this time that we would either be still talking basketball, or we would be talking about the ending of the basketball season. But the Bucks had something to say. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you who were concerned about what Coach was referring to, this is the subject matter that Coach was referring to. So we're going to let Coach wax poetically, since he was limping in that last segment, to keep hope alive. We're going to let him flex his sports muscles on this particular topic, for he was the one who has picked the Bucks.
Yeah.
Even when the Bucks were down, he still kept hope alive. So, Coach, what are your thoughts about the NBA Finals? The Bucks have tied the series 2-2. I imagine you are still with your big Bucks pick. And what do you have to say to your colleague Red on today?
What was that question that you asked? This time next week, the NBA Finals will be, and those other two people on the panel said it will be over. Oops.
Those other two people. Not Red or Molly, but
the other two people.
Those other two people. Go ahead, Coach.
Will be over. Oops. Look what happened.
Somebody even spelled it OVA, I think. Somebody even spelled OVA. I remember that. But go ahead, Coach.
Surprise, surprise. Now we got a series, and now I'm sure IHOP is being sponsored this next segment, because there's going to be a lot of flips. And we go see what happens now in the series.
Oh, we know Red going to be on that fence.
So, Coach, I know you're still going with the Bucks. Tell us why you still feel good about the Bucks, and then tell us in how many games.
I mean, the Bucks. I mean, you know what they say, that dog. That dog you get in the corner. Yeah, Armani did say it. Glad you owned up to your prediction. Good job. I like that. But go away. We won't talk now. It's okay. And but the Bucks have gotten new life. Oh, wow. And then they try to put. Now, one thing that they have done, I hear Kendrick Perkins, oh gosh, whose voice just annoys everyone, talking about Giannis is Robin and Chris Middleton is Batman, all that stuff. I don't think it was. Chris Middleton stepped up and started playing his game. Holiday still struggling, but he's coming around. His shot's not there, but he's still contributing in other ways. And I think that the Bucks have that bully ball is going to catch up, has caught up with the Suns, and they're playing a little physical with the Suns. I don't think the Suns are physical enough to handle the Bucks.
Okay, let me ask you: have we seen the best of CP3 already, or do we see a resurgence of CP3's play for He was quite bad in game 4, 10 points, 5 turnovers. That's terrible. Is Drew Holiday wearing him down? Is the series wearing him down? Is his legs no longer under him? What you got, Coach?
Like the old folks, I think he still got one more bullet in the chamber. Will it be enough? No, but I think he still got one more game where he can still try to pull him out of the darkness. But I don't think it's gonna be enough overall. And like I said, I think the Suns are done, and the Bucks are about to take over the series. Have taken over, and the momentum swing is big time with the Bucks.
All right, now how did you refer to the other two guys again? What did you refer to them as? Those two?
Yeah, those other two.
Those other two. So we have one of the other two on the panel today. Red.
Uh-huh.
Your prediction obviously is not coming into fruition. It's not over. We still got 2 more games to play, beginning with tonight.
Yeah.
You had predicted the Suns in 5, I believe. So we know that prediction cannot come into fruition because game 5 is tonight, and the NBA Finals won't be over tonight because that would only give somebody a 3-2 lead. Right. Now, Coach has basically given you a pass to flip-flop. For he said this particular segment is sponsored by AHA. So, will you take Coach at his word, giving you permission to flip-flop? Are you with the Bucks or were you with the Suns? Where are you this week, this time?
Well, I appreciate Coach for giving me such a popular sponsor. You know, I do love pancakes. Yeah, Coach, you got us, man. You got us, man. You were right on this one. Me and our money was wrong. The series is not going to be over tonight. I thank you for being so modest, you know, and not really, you know, beating us down about it, Red. Appreciate the modesty, Coach.
Now, Red, hold on.
Yes, sir.
Armani has made a declaration. Red, don't you dare switch up. I got your back. Stand your ground. Will you stand with the other of those duo?
Of course I am. You know me. I have to.
No. Don't say don't you know me, because you flip-flop on a weekly basis.
And
didn't your Facebook say you were going?
Is this my topic or is this Shelby's topic?
No, let me get the receipt. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Red.
You did ask me a question, did you, Real?
I did. Go ahead.
Okay. Don't worry, money. I'm not jumping ship, buddy. I can't jump ship, you know. It will kill my sports reputation. Even though I admire how Giannis and the Bucks have blazed their way back into this series, man. I got to stick with the CP3 and the Suns. I took them. I got to ride with them. I'm not gonna ruin my sports reputation by flip-flopping and jumping on Milwaukee bandwagon.
Hold on, no. I knew you were going. All right, let me go and pull it up now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Thank you for showing us the dirty nails that Shelby has on her head. You need a pedicure, sweetheart. But
that's a manicure.
You need a pedicure too. But yeah, what did that have to do with what I posted? We talking about the show now. You can put up 1,000 posts. You can pull up 1,000 posts. It's my time to talk. You can pull up 1,000 posts that I make on my Facebook page and then come on the show and say something different. So thank you, but no, I'm still sticking with the Suns, okay? And you can pull up my Facebook post 1,000 times. It don't mean nothing. Money, I'm not gonna leave you, buddy. But yeah. The Bucks are playing good ball. They make me want to jump ship, but I'm not going to jump ship like that. Not like this. I ain't going to let Coach persuade me to leave my pick. But I tell you this, though, whoever wins tonight is probably going to win the series, whether I'm right or wrong. So CP3, you want the glory? You want all the praise? You want that ring? Dude, you better handle business tonight. Because if you don't, it's going to be over with Tuesday night.
Anybody want to comment? Shelby, you got any extra comments? Coach?
No, I think I said everything I need to say.
Really? I don't remember you saying anything but holding up a picture with them dirty nails showing a Facebook post that I made yesterday.
Are once again, Red is flip flopping. I'm sticking with the Suns. I picked the Suns. I don't flip flop like Red.
I ain't flip flop either.
Maybe you should be sponsored by flip flops.
Maybe you should get your opinion because I haven't flip flop. I picked the Suns last week. I'm sticking with the Suns this week. What I post on my personal page does not have any influence on the show. So you can post, you can pull up all my Facebook posts. I did not flip on the show. I picked the Suns last week. I'm sticking with the Suns this week. How is that a flip flop? You, Mr. Hawks free falling, and then come on the show like you the greatest Hawks fan. Get out of here, girl. Your opinion means nothing. Okay. Now give your take, or we moving on.
We can move on. I've done my duty. I've done my
Coach.
duty.
If I picked the Suns last week and I'm picking the Suns this week, how is that a flip flop? I'm trying to figure that.
According to the show, you have not flip flop.
Thank you. Shelby just want to be seen, want to be heard, looking for attention, showing off them crusty, dirty fingernails.
You done? You done? Thanks, Red. Broke another one.
Oh man, let's get ready.
Why would you even go with Red anyway? You know he gonna flip flop. It's literally what he does. Him and that.
Are we done? Somebody just looking for attention now. Yeah, for real. Let's move on, real.
Armani,
looking for attention now.
Armani, you want to come on the show to address Red?
Please, Armani. Please,
Armani. Dude, are you serious? Now, if you gonna sit there and let Shelby influence you, dude, then I'll change my pick for real. I stuck with the Suns, you idiot. I picked the Suns last week, and I'm sticking with the Suns. So shut up responding to Shelby's little holding up her phone, man. You are so soft, boy. I tell you, you got some soft boys in the Rev Night Nation, man. They let Shelby influence them when I just told them I picked the Suns last week, and I'm sticking with them this week. Oh. Is that another topic? Real, now it wasn't that funny now. Come on.
You're muted.
It's not that funny. Real, we don't have way funnier takes than this now.
Can somebody please tell it?
Rev, you muted, man.
You're muted.
Rev, you muted.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Okay.
We were muted. We were
You
trying
were
to.
muted. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was laughing too hard, man. I'm sorry. That was pretty funny. Oh, no, oh, no.
Yeah. You are an idiot if you don't sit up here and respond to Shelby holding up her phone, making a Facebook post. Yeah, you an idiot. Now, if you don't respond to it, you're not. So don't respond to it, and I won't think you an idiot.
All right, Red. Come on, calm down.
I'm just saying, too.
Calm down on that.
They know Shelby gonna say something about my post. Why are they even responding to that? They need to respond to me. I foresee that real. You take it for
he has to read it out loud.
UFC 198. I see you, Lance. Oh man! All right, we're gonna.
I hope shit. Never mind. I'll say that one for later.
All right, this was a very interesting topic. Man, for some reason, I have no dog in this race, and I can't really figure out this particular series. I think it's going to go 7, and I think at the end of the day, home court advantage is going to pay off in this series. So therefore, Suns in 7, because the others, as Shaq would call them, they definitely play better at home. And we're seeing how the others in each series at whoever's home they're playing exceptionally well. And to be honest, the Suns actually had game 4 won. They had that game won, and
yeah, they did.
And they just let it slip away. And I think in 5, the Suns will win tonight. The Bucks probably come back winning 6, and then the Suns come back in 7. I'm soft, but Red, you get up in arms, so that's everybody's left. All right. With that being said, let's shift gears real quickly. Now, I'm gonna put in a fill in the blank for us right quick, and I need y'all. Here it is. It's regarding the NBA. All right, here it is. And the finals MVP. Let me make sure I got my words right because I don't want Shelby to go in on me. All right, here it is. Here we go. I need y'all to answer this fill in the blank. Blank wins the finals MVP because of fill in the blank. So who wins the finals MVP? So obviously, Coach, you're picking somebody from Milwaukee. Red and Shelby, you're picking somebody from the Suns. So, Coach, since we started with you, let's start with you in this one again. Who wins the finals MVP and why?
Giannis wins the finals MVP because of his continued great play. I mean, those 40-point games are not just coming by accident. So I say Giannis wins the finals MVP because of consistent great play.
All right. We'll go with you, Red, since you are still with the Suns on the show.
On the show, you got it right, Red. Thank you. Somebody who actually knows me.
All right, Blake wins the finals MVP because of
CP3 wins the finals MVP because he rebounded tonight in Game 5 and got his team back on track. And whether they win in 6 or 7, he'll be the finals MVP if the Phoenix Suns win. Because anytime he plays bad, they're gonna lose. Like you say, he had an awful game in Game 4, uncharacteristic turnovers. That just wasn't the CP3 that usually shows up in those type of, well, what I'm talking about, that is the CP3 that usually shows up in those type of games, but that's not the natural CP3. So as long as he's the natural CP3, they'll win tonight, and he'll be the finals MVP with a Suns victory.
Shelby, who wins the finals MVP and why?
CP3 wins because normally it's the most popular player on the team that wins, whether or not they are the best player. It's always the most popular person, and CP3 is the most popular.
Now let me take you to task on that one, because you and Clay are married. Am I correct?
We are.
According to sports, you all are married. Now, so that means you are very familiar with Golden State Warriors history since your boo plays for Golden State.
Yes.
Now, do you remember who was the finals MVP of their first championship?
I don't. I know it wasn't Steph. No, it was Steph.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I don't remember.
It wasn't your boo.
It
was Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
And we know that he is nowhere near the most popular player of Golden State. So,
and Kevin Durant got it, and
but then let's be real. Steph had won 2 MVPs, plus he was a champion, and Steph was almost being considered the face of the league when Kevin Durant came on the team. So Steph is more popular than Kevin Durant,
and Kevin Durant definitely didn't deserve it. I just think CP3 is going to get it. I mean, we've seen, I don't know how many times ESPN has shown the interview with him about finally making it to the finals, finally getting there. And it's almost kind of his swan song. Like if you retire now, if he wins, he can go ahead and retire and be done. And he's getting older. It's just time.
So
I want him to win.
Would you agree then, changing up most popular with what Thomas Holcomb said, Chris Paul wins because he's more sentimental?
Yeah, I think that's the best word.
Okay. All right.
Not just like you said, he had bad game. He had a bad game. He had some good games. To me, it would be Devin Booker because I feel like he's been the most consistent, although he did have that bad game too. But Chris Paul, I mean, everybody wants, except for Coach, wants Chris Paul to get this ring. He's been so close, and he just hadn't gotten it. Everybody wants CP3 to win.
All right.
Red, pick a decision. You can't even decide who you're going to go for. I'm not paying attention to you.
Amani said Chris Paul wins the finals MVP because he will show more poise in these next few games. And who else? Did anybody else have anything to say about it? No, nobody else. And Amani answered my trivia question with Andre Iguodala. That's an interesting spelling of his name.
I'm like,
it's the incorrect spelling of his name. Yeah, not interesting. Incorrect. Armani, I'm gonna have to call homegirl New Orleans, buddy. You ain't winning no spelling bees no time soon, man.
I'm not gonna go on Armani because I've been mispronouncing names, so I understand the feeling that it happens sometimes. But you did get the right person, just didn't spell it right. But yeah, it was Andre.
Zaire will be so disappointed in you, my brother, man. You're making her look bad.
All right, let's get ready to go to a topic that probably will take maybe the rest of our time before we go into You Have the Right. And this is up Red's alley for not only does he claim to be a sports guru, but also a movie guru. So we're going to talk best sports.
About that time, we have an annual discussion on this.
Best sports movie, and I'm sure this is being brought up because Space Jam came out this weekend starring LeBron James, and there have been different critics who have offered different things to say about Space Jam rather, but we'll see what happens later on. But best sports movie, so this is why we're talking about it, because of Space Jam coming out. Red, do you want to first start? Now, remember, we're talking about best sports movie, just one.
Oh, we're not going to do it for each sport?
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Good grief.
I had a whole list ready for the discussion. You mean I gotta cut that out and just pick one?
Yes.
Well, what I'll do is
15 minutes left in the show.
I will, but
we're gonna let you say your best baseball, football, basketball real quickly, and then you gotta narrow it down out of those. What's the best one? I'll give you that leeway since you brought up the topic. All right, go with it. You got 3 good minutes.
Okay. Favorite baseball movie is Major League 1988 comedy. Favorite football movie is the 1999 Oliver Stone football drama Any Given Sunday. And my favorite basketball movie is the 1992 Ron Shelton directed basketball comedy White Men Can't Jump. I'm done. Any commentary, I'm willing, but you guys say you make it quick.
But which is the best out of all the movies?
I'm gonna go with White Men Can't Jump.
And why?
I love White Men Can't Jump. I love the fact that it's an excellent romantic comedy and basketball sports movie put into one. I love my girl Rosie Perez, Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, great chemistry. I love it's directed by great sports filmmaker Ron Shelton, the guy who bought us Bull Durham, the Ty Cobb documentary, Tin Cup, and Play It to the Bone. White Men Can't Jump has always been one of my favorite sports movies of all time. I love the banner on the court, a white guy bringing that realistic banner to his project. I just love it. Great job, Ron Shelton.
All right, Shelby, let's go with you. This ought to be interesting. I don't know what direction you might go with the best sports movie. So what you got for it?
I'll just go with my favorite, which is Remember the Titans. You have Denzel. You have Hayden Panettiere when she was, normal and sane and a little girl. It was just a good movie. And the fact that it was based on a true story, it was just a good movie. I guess I can't really decide between, but I will go with Remember the Titans because Pride was also a good movie.
Oh, the swimming movie.
The swimming movie. I mean,
Bernie Mac and Terrence Howard.
It was a great movie. I mean, even Evan Ross did a good job. I was impressed that Evan Ross was actually a decent actor. But it was good. And it was. Did anybody ask?
Yeah. He's not bad.
So of my 2, I would have to go with Pride because you have black swimmers, which is not something that we normally see. Black people do. We usually are dribbling a ball or carrying a ball or throwing a ball. And so I think Pride was a really good, feel-good movie, but it also talked about a time when we were, as Black people, were not even allowed to swim in pools. And we had to go to pools on the other side of town. We had the black-colored pools and the white pools. And so it was a good movie. And Terrence Howard did a really good job.
So I'm gonna come back to you real quickly. Tom Arnold wasn't bad in that movie either. He did
It really wasn't.
As a villain in the movie. All right, so you're still going with Remember the Titans.
No, I'm going with Pride.
You're going with
I'm
Pride.
going with Pride. Pride is the absolute best sports movie of all time.
Wow. Some Chris Trailer got Cool Runnings.
Oh Lord.
Hey man, Cool Runnings, hey, Cool Runnings is pretty good one now.
Bad movie.
Don't hate on Cool
Runnings. Jamaican bobsled.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Oh man,
pretty well respected film.
Coach, now give us something in our lifetime.
Don't worry, coaches. Even if it's old school, I probably remember it.
I would go with an underrated movie as one of my, not the best one, but Gridiron Gang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, The Rock, right?
You're gonna ultimately give us your best, though, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my best.
Right,
I like Gridiron Gang for what it did, where it got those young boys out of prison, that were in prison, the youth detention center, and showed them how to play together. And eventually, it had its ups and downs. And eventually, they came out to be, for what it was. Coach Carter was a good one. Now, Miss Harris, that was a real good one. Rudy.
Coach gonna say Rudy.
Overall, I kind of like Blue Chips with Nick Nolte.
It's a good movie.
I kind of go with Blue Chips. That story, how they came about the actual seriously real dealing to what some coaches will do to get players. Yeah, and everybody want to say Friday Night Lights. I kind of, it was okay. I wasn't really a Friday Night Lights fan, so I'm gonna go with Blue Chips.
Now, what makes Blue Chips? I know you're talking about the recruiting aspect. It stars Shaq and Penny Hardaway. Nick Nolte was the coach. So what makes that such a great film besides the recruiting, or what was that was the main reason?
Yeah, shine the light on the fact that what people will do, what coaches are doing and will do to get ball players, what lengths they will go. Nick Nolte went everywhere. He went to a small farm. He went to overseas over there to get Shaq, and then brought them all together and tried to put that picture in front of them. This is where you could be, and then blah blah blah, and go on. So I like Blue Chips.
Yeah, that's definitely an underrated film. That's a good one, Coach. Good choice.
So,
real.
My basketball movies for sure. The one that stuck with me a long time was Hoosiers.
Yeah. You went to an old classic, didn't you?
Old classic, great story. Gene Hackman,
Dennis Hopper,
coach. It showed, especially since I was a ball player and then had aspiration at some point to coach, even as a little kid, because I was 9 years old when the movie came out. That came out in 1986. I thought that was just a great story of how to rally a team, put a team together, put a program together, be willing to let some players walk, standing on your philosophy and your principles. And actually that movie stayed a lot with me, even to my coaching days, to stay with your principles, stay with your philosophy, don't deviate from it. Also, I would have to say my best movie, and I still don't like one aspect of the movie, but my favorite best sports movie is the classic Love and Basketball. Love and Basketball.
Wow. That is a shocking surprise.
It's a great love story for number one. So you get the love aspect, and then you got two people who love the game of basketball. The game took them in different directions, but ultimately brought it back together. It does show how sometimes people can love an individual more than what they do in a sport, because I know people who have lost a love for something because somebody wasn't with them who was very much a part of what they used to do. And that was Sanaa Lathan's character, as good as she was, because she was actually the better basketball player in real life and in the movie, because she actually went to overseas to play, and then she went to the WNBA. But the joy of basketball was taken away from her because she wasn't with Quincy. And that's a real story. And then also it shows the downfall of people not listening to sound advice. And then it also brings out the family dynamics that can sometimes come about where a child, once they lose respect for a parent, they just dismiss everything that the parent has to say. Because Quincy's father, the All-State guy, he was the one who had been in the NBA. He knew what the NBA had to offer. And then Quincy was like, he didn't want to have to hear nothing that his father said, and did everything in spite of his father, because of him having an affair on his mother. And that dismissed any credibility that his father had with him. And we see that he was one and done. His NBA career was terrible. He was sitting on the end of the bench. And then eventually he got hurt. And then that's when, what's her name? Tara Banks came into the picture. But then we see that ultimately Sanaa Lathan, his love for Sanaa Lathan came about in an interesting way, playing one-on-one. I don't know how many people playing one-on-one for love in their future in a relationship, but that was a nice catch to the story. And the only problem I had with the movie was Omar Epps can't really play no ball. I mean, Omar, you could just tell by the way he dribbled. You could just tell by the way he shot that clearly he was not in the game for basketball.
Oh my God.
He was in the game for his name and his acting career. Because he was definitely not a good basketball player. Now, Sanaa Lathan, you could tell she went into the gym. She worked on the game. I think in those kind of movies,
she took that role seriously, man.
Well, I think in those kind of movies, they actually, because I remember using the movie you like, White Man Can't Jump. They had Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes participate in camp basketball practices.
And Woody used to play college ball, so they both. Well, Woody was a better basketball player than Wesley Snipes. Wesley was about as sorry as Omar Epps was.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm saying, like, the cameras did a lot of tricks that made Wesley look good.
Wesley Snipes got a little game on him. A little game. He got way more game than Omar Epps did.
Yeah. The more Omar Epps. Yeah, you're right.
Now, Wesley, because you got to realize it's a different dynamic of basketball. Wesley was playing the street game.
Mm-hmm.
The street game doesn't have to be as polished as a real game.
No, you're right.
Omar Epps was trying to play real basketball. Wesley Snipes, if he had quite a few deficiencies in his game, we didn't get a chance to see him because you do all those trick plays and all that.
Exactly. The camera made him look better than he was.
So you don't really see the flaws like you see in Omar Epps.
Oh, yeah.
His shooting form was terrible, his dribbling, and it just didn't make it believable at times that he was capable of being one and done, or even a top college prospect.
It was believable when he got cut.
That was very believable.
It was believable.
He wouldn't even made the G League.
Yeah, when he was at the end of the bench, that part was believable. I was like, man, the director finally put him, because, man, real. If you had to saw the makings of that movie, whatever trick they did with Wesley Snipes, Lord, you got to get Gina Price Bliffwood all the glory in the world, making that guy look as decent as she made him look.
Yeah, no doubt. Talladega Nights now for NASCAR, that's a great movie. That is probably one of the most humorous movies. It's one of those movies that when it comes on television, I pause to watch. I always pause to watch Ricky Bobby. And
like Mike Armani.
Well, Armani might be watching it with his kids these days. He's a father too.
Yeah, I know.
So that's a family movie. Now, somebody said Just Right. That was okay with Queen Latifah. That was pretty decent. That was pretty decent.
Hey, come on, man. Y'all giving us these little softy basketball movies.
What about Rocky?
Oh, yeah, great. That's a great sports movie, Coach.
I mean,
I had a list, but we said we was only keeping. That was gonna be my favorite boxing movie.
I mean, Rocky could be argued best sports movie because what other movie got like 7-8 movies from the original,
and on the sports movie to win Best Picture too.
Yeah,
at the Oscars.
Well, Creed is part of the Rocky series. You know?
Yeah, Creed. That's like part 7.
Yeah.
You know, it was this girl at work that I was talking to. She didn't even realize Creed was part of a bigger series. She thought it was just 1 and 2. I was like, no, sweetie, you got like 6 other movies before this one you need to watch. She was like, what? For real? She's like, Rocky started this?
Man, Rocky. When was the first Rocky, in the 70s?
1976.
Yeah, so you're talking about 8, 9, 10, a 40+ year run.
Yeah.
Of movies. So Sylvester Stallone will be with us well beyond his earthly years. He will always be a part of movie history until Jesus comes back. Because
won Best Picture over Taxi Driver too. Oh,
Flex Alexander had a better chance of winning the Emmy than us believing it. For sure.
Hey, that TV show now, that was all right.
1-on-1.
Yeah, 1-on-1.
Yeah,
even though Tyler Pratt was more the star than Flex.
What'd you say, Coach?
Have you all seen Space Jam 2?
No.
I have.
I'm gonna just be honest. I watched it last night, and like they said, if you can't say anything good about anybody, don't say anything.
It was that bad?
Yeah.
You have to. I don't know how to describe it. You have to just follow it. I don't know. It just didn't have a real good plot to it. The way it
Didn't
was
have
going.
a good plot. LeBron can't act. You could have had Omar Epps in it.
Now, Shannon Sharp brought up this point. Now we know he rides hard for LeBron, but he did bring out the fact that when Space Jam, the original with Michael Jordan, first came, Space Jam got a lot of bad critiques.
Yeah.
And then
Space Jam was bad. The original Space Jam was bad.
So let me ask you this. We know that typically cartoons are for kids.
And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So are we really the type of people that should be offering critiques for cartoons?
And see, that's what I was about to say. It is a serious kids movie. If you take your kids to, they're gonna enjoy it because it's a serious kids movie, pretty much.
Amani said
10 and under.
He just watched it with his boys. It's not for us. It's for the kids. So I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
this coming from a guy whose favorite movie is Like Mike.
Here we go.
I heard
I'm just playing out, buddy. You just leaving me too open, man.
Oh,
Coach, you on that opening night, was you?
Hey, Joe Black, let me tell you something. I'm respecting your comments because it's your wedding anniversary. Guess what? You wait till next week. You better not even come on the show next week.
But that's real talk, though.
Well, Coach, you were there in 1976 now.
Check this out.
May I go ahead, Red? Go ahead, Red.
Here's the proof. Here's the proof behind the pudding what Joe was saying. There was only one person that was born on this panel in 1976. And he wasn't a kid. Well, he was a little kid, but he wasn't a baby at that time.
He was a teenager.
No,
Teenager, right?
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was a teenager. He was knocking on the door being a teenager.
Okay.
I always got my best comeback to all this old stuff. Y'all want to get old someday. That's all I can say. And I'm going to leave it at that.
That's true.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. That's true.
Jokes.
You mean like Shelby left you open for exposure?
Here we go.
Yeah, our money. Like Shelby left me open for exposure. At least I can admit it.
The coaches.
You had to be older than a teenager to have a job, man.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh, man, that was a good one. All right, let's get out of here. We're going to get off Coach real quick. Let's get out of here, close it out. You have the right to do what, when, where, and how. Who has at it? Anybody?
Okay. Bucks, you have a right to win on the road and cement this series away in Game 6.
All right. Shelby, you were about to jump in.
Yeah.
Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Stephen A. Smith, you have a right to shut up. Going after Shoshi Otani because he doesn't speak good English. He speaks English and Spanish. He just doesn't feel comfortable using it with the media. How dare you? That was inappropriate, racist, and completely beneath you. It was ridiculous. That the man is hopefully okay. If he's the face of baseball, he's doing a very good job at being the face of baseball right now. Stephen A., you're better than that. That was just dead wrong.
All
And,
right,
and you should be fired for that.
and before Red goes, that's a prime example to Coach's earlier point. Because Stephen A. makes so much money for ESPN, is why he basically got a slap on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Had he been one of the lower guys on the ESPN totem pole, he would have been suspended or fired. But because Stephen A. is who he is, this is why he still has his job. But nevertheless,
But that's strike two though. How many times he gonna get away with making these comments?
Well, you know, the thing about it is his career is long, and as long as they happen years apart and not back to back, he'll get a grace period.
But he did talk about the Nigerian team too. That was like last week.
Yeah, it was back to back. Both of them, you know, were back to back, but he gets a pass. I think that they were of the same nature of what he was talking.
See how more folks don't come on there and put that dude in his place, man, because he just really be out of line, disrespectful on a lot of topics. Don't allow he don't even respect a lot of folks' opinion. Like Kwame Brown was right. Somebody really need to come on that show and tell him about himself. But it seems like everybody just come on the show and kiss his butt, and I'm like, I don't see why, dude. I just don't see the appeal to Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry.
Take his side because everybody always like to highlight what he says and how wrong it is. But when y'all gonna put the highlight on the fact that he does more for HBCU than anybody at that spot? How he highlights HBCU, how he puts them out there, how he has his show going to the HBCU. So they sweep that under the rug, and then sometimes us blacks do the same thing. When that show comes on and he's at Jackson State, Moy House, and all them places, everybody like, yeah. But as soon as he says something, the world goes crazy. But they don't highlight all that other stuff. They're donating to Winston-Salem and doing all this other stuff. I guess, that's not important.
Now, let me say this. The next time anybody on this show criticizes Coach, you already know that. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, you already know this is his go-to for Stephen A. Because he just said the same exact thing when we talked about the Kwame Brown situation. So now I'm going to record what you said, Coach. Good. So you don't have to say it again.
Right, exactly.
Because I know that's the second time you shared that same exact take when we did the Kwame Brown conversation, and you almost did it word for word.
Just because you give money to an HBCU doesn't mean that you're right. This was wrong. This was 100% wrong. Just because you do some good doesn't mean that you don't. That I'm not gonna call you out for some bad.
Well, why they don't call him out when he do good?
I think they do.
No, they don't. No,
I don't know. I've never heard. I'll be honest with you. I've never heard that he gives to HBCU.
Oh, wow. I've seen him. He tells us about it.
His show is on First Take goes to the HBCU for a week.
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. We don't hear about the good in mass when it comes to most entertainers and
anybody. Yeah.
We hear more about the bad. So it's not just to Stephen A.
Right.
I mean, it's for any athlete. We get negative pub sells more in America than positive pub. That's why we see, if you look at the news, your local news, you would think nothing positive happened the entire day, because all it is up until the sports moment or weather, and sometimes that's bad news, nothing good happened in a particular city. So, well, that's just the reality. We're going to hear more about the bad than we are going to hear about the good with not just Stephen A., but all athletes and all entertainers. All right. My mother says Shakespeare said the good is oft interred with their bones. Gotcha. Thank you for bringing that reference to the table. Red, go ahead on with you have the right.
Shelby, don't laugh. Jay Williams, you had the right to stay gone. I don't know why you've been gone, but you got the right to stay gone. Because I have been enjoying Keyshawn and the white guy on the show. I'm sure his name, but I've been enjoying Monica McNutt on the show too. I know I got on her early, but she is definitely rubbing off on me. So you can put her on the show and let her be a permanent. You don't like Monica McNutt, Shelby?
I didn't say like the rubbing off on you part. That was a little off-putting. But continue.
Not literally, but like I say, you have the ESPN, you have the right to keep Jay Williams away, please.
All right. And Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee, you have the right to go to a Game 7. So Shelby will have to keep on watching or hearing more about basketball. With that being said,
no, she like it.
Episode 198 is officially in the books. Thank y'all so much for watching. We had a great time. We're looking forward to being back. Same Facebook page next week, 11 o'clock. Red and Rail Sports Show 199. Almost close to that 2 double donut coming real soon. Thank you, Reverend Night Nation, for doing what you do. Make us laugh and then keep us straight. With that being said, peace and love, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there, and see you next week for episode 199. Did Shelby just get jealous?
Absolutely not.
Peace out, money.
Jealous is not cool.
My wagon just pulled up possum picking in Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Oh, Lord.
This show is becoming more riotous every week. All right. Peace and love, everybody. We're out of here.